Alright. And hey! Welcome back. I'm Great Grandpa BB. This is Beeb's Travelogue. This is my friend Nick. I met at the Duck Pond in Ashville, in Brevard.
Right.
Yeah. Just yesterday?
Yeah. Totally random.
Yeah, and we had a great conversation. And, why not keep it going,
Hey, I've been talking about this myself for a while. And
Yeah.
Here we are.
Exactly. Yeah. And so just to start it off hot, okay?
Dive right in.
You had some ideas about science versus nature that I wanted to explore.
Okay.
It really intrigued me. I did some writing about that, like after we had the conversation,
Right.
as far as what nature. Nature is almost like the spiritual to you in a sense, right?
Yeah.
And then science is the kind of the antithesis, right? To nature.
It's paradoxical because science is obviously measuring something.
Yeah.
And what it's measuring is mostly there.
Okay. Yeah, well, right.
Mostly. And
Yeah.
I think it's important to pause on those nuances. On who's measuring what? Do we all have access to the data?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
What's the agenda of the data? Who's funding the looking?
Very true.
And so
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with methodical measurement.
Okay.
I don't have obviously things exist in patterns and material.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of beer in this cup,
Yeah, reality is absolutely finite.
Yeah.
And so it's people think I'm a trickster because I believe in paradox and finality.
Okay, right.
And I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. I'm serious.
Yeah. Because that in and of itself is a paradox, right?
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Paradox is, I'm a human with a soul, or am I a soul with a human? I'm more of a soul with a human.
Yeah.
And that twitches people out a little bit. 'Cause most people are like, prove it. I was like, I don't have to.
And where does the soul end and the human begin?
It doesn't.
Is there?
There is
right?
no
Yeah.
demarcation line.
No, not really.
To me, this is the spirit realm.
Yeah, for sure.
There is it's just separation of church and state.
Right,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Go for it. The church exists in the state.
Yeah.
The church is on the ground.
And the ultimate question of church and state are both the same thing. It's how do we organize people?
Right.
How do we get along?
Who has the final who has the final say?
Right.
Are we independent of each other's say?
Yeah.
Do you actually have the right to regulate me?
Right.
Or tell me how to live within a moral boundary.
Well,
I'm not saying we should have a free-for-all. I believe in rules.
But they're tricksters as well.
Right.
If you are in authority, you're almost automatically a trickster because of the fact that you're using institutional language in order to dictate normal cultural boundaries, and say, okay, this is outside those boundaries and this is inside and this is what we do here, and it's real easy to be corrupted.
One thought real quick before I lose it.
Yeah.
There's one saying that says, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right.
But to even make it more simple, when the strong govern the weak, there's only one way that goes.
Yeah, exactly. Because the weak then have no power.
Right.
And
they never had any power.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They're not given power either.
No. And there's certain administrations throughout history, right, who have been somewhat ethically better than others too, And
I want to make this clear too. It's I don't judge history.
Right.
I don't judge authority.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with anything.
Yeah.
I'm just an observer of what the hell's going on. I'm not sure, but I'm observing.
Yeah.
And so it's I'm not here to point the finger or cast blame.
Yeah.
Or even have a trigger.
Right. I
exist. I'm here. I'm part of the show.
And, and really, your subjective point of view is completely dependent on where you are in the world at the time, too.
Totally.
And
that's a great point, because should we really be caring about the other side of the world losing sleep on things we can't touch?
Right.
Like, is it, everybody's responsibility locally to somewhat live their own karma, save each other's neighbors? I mean, I'm not saying don't do good, don't help where you can.
Yeah, for sure.
But, when the news is just like mind-bombing negative all day long, it's just seems like it's just dysfunctional.
It very much is. And but as far as like worrying about people where you can't help them anyway, it's like we don't have the financial ability to actually even go over there, nor to send money or food or to do really anything of like value to people across the sea in a lot of ways.
I hope somebody takes care of them.
Yeah. Like I can't afford an airplane ticket to go there.
Right. I don't think it's worth social political manipulation to polarize people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think no disaster goes unused.
Right. Disaster. What was it? Disaster capitalism or shock therapy or all that shit. Yeah.
I think it more correctly would says is don't let a good disaster go to waste.
Right. Yeah. That's like Milton Friedman type of economics.
Right. Did they create the disaster, or are they just acting like they created disaster, or are they just taking advantage of the disaster?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it could be all of them, or it could be one of them, but they're definitely taking advantage of the situation.
Right. I mean, that's the stock market. Our whole, American retirement is vested in capitalizing off of others.
It's so precarious, man. It's so just like, and humans don't even really control it anymore. It's all just like, derivatives of derivatives that are all being done by algorithms on computers. Like in fractions of blinks of an eye, you're getting like hundreds of thousands of transactions that like humans can't even follow.
I mean, and I also know there's a lot of things I don't know, and there's a lot of things I don't understand.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that are happening organically and naturally that we assign villains to that there maybe not, and vice versa.
Yeah.
There are things that are happening non-organically that they say are organic.
Yeah.
So it's like, believe nothing ever.
Right.
I don't believe in beliefs.
Yeah, because you can't, as one human being, you can't know, like your knowledge is limited.
Right.
Like just as a human being, your just knowledge is limited.
Totally. If I can't touch it, it's not real to me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But it ain't worth my thought.
Yeah, or maybe I've never even seen it before.
Right.
Like, maybe it just seems like a paradox, or maybe it seems like it's supernatural to me at some point, Yeah. And, like, it's just because I don't know about the thing that's causing the thing.
It's true. And so, like, I
don't know what I don't know.
There you go. And so I can only respond with what I do know.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, then I learn something.
Yeah.
And if it works out, I gain something. But either way, I'm still gaining something.
Yeah.
I mean, success is a compilation of failure, not success.
I succeeded every single time.
I've never failed.
I didn't even try.
That's why I'm a billionaire. Well, I mean, actually, for billionaires, it's probably true.
That's probably for a lot of them. Yeah.
They've never had the option or opportunity to fail.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're still failing, but they're failing their way to the top, and
they failed so big, but they were already so much bigger than that anyway.
Oh, wait, what
it
was
didn't
that
even
statement?
matter.
Too big to fail.
Oh yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they were too big to fail, so they lost all their money, but then they're like, hey, if we lose all our money, we'll have to fire all the people, and then just give us some money and it'll be good.
For real.
And then you got this thing called quantitative easing that was invented just to print money and give it to people at that point.
Free money for all.
Yeah, well, for the banks.
Yeah. Free for all.
Yeah, that was like, 2008, 2009, somewhere around there, abouts.
And so here's the thing to kind of segue into, I don't know, a little more positivity.
Okay.
That we kind of started off with was, that's a infinite hole to
oh my god, right? Yeah.
Talking about.
Yeah, it's like we just keep inventing
the
more
doom
money.
Of the world.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing that I like to add that I don't hear much ever, never, and I think is my like mental superpower.
Yeah.
I believe we all have a superpower.
Yeah.
Like
like we have.
I'm not a musician. You are.
We have inclinations,
right.
That we pursue,
right.
Like,
and I don't think, I mean, and some, Beethoven was born playing a piano.
Yeah, and
some people are
if Beethoven
savants.
never played a piano before, no one would ever have known.
It's true, but everybody knows Beethoven plays the piano.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he had that power, and it was inevitable.
Yeah.
And so I think that, like, so the punchline is that everything is in our favor, especially when, I'll keep it personal, I believe it's not.
Okay.
And I think the root of fear, blame, shame, and trigger exists in doubt of the universe.
Okay.
Like, if this, then that, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I did something wrong, I'm bad, they took advantage of me, I'm a victim, something didn't work out, she broke up with me, dog died. Insert any pitfall rather than like,
just like,
okay. How can I use what's happening in my favor?
Yeah.
Like, is there something actually outside of me that paradoxically is working in my favor, even though it feels like it's not?
Yeah, exactly.
Like even the villain. To sum it up, sorry.
Yeah.
Heaven hired hell to chase us home.
Interesting. It's a certain amount of like pressure on the water in the hose, right?
Yeah. I mean, some say the road to hell is paved in gold.
Yeah.
I say the road to heaven is paved with hell.
Yeah. Right.
Because you
can't find it without. If you don't know what the suffering is, then you don't know what the opposite is, right? Like,
no contrast, no experience.
Right. Yeah. I completely agree with that.
No shadow, no depth.
Yeah. And so when you have those types of shadows, when you have that type of suffering, you have to be able to identify it in your own mind. And like, you almost have to go outside of yourself and be like, okay, self, like, this thing is really, really fucking with your head right now, man.
Totally.
And like, this is what's happening. And you're focusing on this thing really hard. And you need, like, and that's all it is. That's what's happening to you right now. Nothing else. None of the other stories about, oh, I'm cursed. This always happens to me.
And I'm a pitiful little earthling.
Yeah. Like,
I got a bad hand. And my life sucks. Poor me.
I was born under a bad sign, man.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but man, if you can learn to do that one thing, I think, then you can stand on top. And
instead of becoming a sufferer, you're a surfer.
Yeah.
You're just riding the wave.
I like that.
You just flip around the words.
Yeah, right.
Letters, And sometimes the wolf causes us to flow.
Right.
And so we perceive those wolves as enemies and villains and demons.
Yeah.
When maybe the king hired the villain just to trigger the stagnant energy.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not actually evil. Maybe our suffering isn't what they're. It's kind of like a parent syndrome. Like Terrible 2s. We hate our parents.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah.
I think that's kind of collective psychology as well.
Yeah. Well, it's a realization at some point. It's like I'm a separate human than these people.
Totally.
Like, you have to get used to that. Like, people aren't born knowing things like that.
Right.
Like, and that's a really old argument though. Like, are we born knowing things inherently, or is the experience itself what is giving us the knowledge?
Which sets me up for what I was going to say a second ago. Is it's all everything leads back to paradox. Is the government big and bad, or are they actually in our favor?
Right. Because sometimes it seems like they're helping.
Or is it both and?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe the paradox is both and.
Yeah. And there's nothing to exclude it from being so,
Right.
Like, it can completely be both of those things.
Like, I don't have an axe to grind with anyone.
Right.
You can be whatever you want.
Right.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. That's I mean,
just don't bother me.
Yeah, just I had this realization last year. At least I thought it was a realization. I was like, man, the world would just be a lot better if we all just stayed home and watched TV all the time, man. At least we'd be out of each other's way and not fighting each other all the time over bullshit, And that's an oversimplistic view, and it's probably really
you got your wish.
Right? Yeah, like, well, I was in the middle of it, at the time, and I was like, yeah, this probably isn't so bad,
Right. The unspeakable thing.
Yeah. Because it always comes across like, well, I watch a lot of TV. It's like, well, that sounds horrible. That seems like you're not doing anything with your life,
Right. Yeah.
But it depends on what you're watching, and it depends on why you're watching it. Like, if you're trying to learn something,
there's a lot of good information.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're like watching something that's like super heady and it, and you're like saving that, and like you're like, okay, I think I'm ready for this now, and you're like, let's get into it, see what happens here, and it's like that fires your brain on different levels than and that's a beautiful thing. That's the same thing as like reading a book, you know.
Totally. I mean, a lot of people have like technology rebellion, even though it's inescapable.
Right.
And so
because printing press.
Then you live in dissonance. Then you live in resistance to your only source of information.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, I got books. I like books, but it's like I'm not fighting what is.
Right.
And hey, if online information and video and whatnot, that's like that's quick.
It is.
You can learn a lot fast.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do I not be in resistance? With like a powerful tool.
If you are in resistance of that, you're gonna be way behind everybody else. Right. Even if those people are learning a wrong thing every once in a while, it's still like at least there's like at least they have like a foothold on what they think. Like if you read something and you think that it's wrong, at least you know that it's like, okay, somebody said this and I don't think that's right.
But I'm gonna keep listening just to get to the end.
Or I'm gonna look up this thing that I don't think is right and see what that is.
Right.
Does this match up?
Right.
What all, like...
And that's a good point. So for me, like, when I'm scanning, surfing, whatever, just deep diving, seeing what's out there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like I've got a mind, but I've also got, like, a heart and feeling and perception, intuition. And so it's like, even things that are said to be true, I might not watch because it doesn't feel good.
Right.
And things that they say aren't true, I might watch because it feels like truth.
Yeah.
But then there's something that feels like truth that I know might be truth, but I still might not watch it.
Right.
And so it's like, information is like food.
Yeah.
It's like, how, like...
Yeah, sometimes you can handle, like, certain things, too. Right. And sometimes you got fucking heartburn.
Right.
Like, I'm just gonna take some light shit today, like we're not gonna get real heavy into this.
I mean,
shit.
Sometimes 5 o'clock news is necessary, but not all day.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah.
I mean, candy bars are cool, but not all day.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's like I'm not gonna keep a case of candy bars in my desk drawer, something like that.
I mean, I can cry about something, but not all day.
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh man, that thing hit me. But is that thing gonna hit me for 24 hours? Like, there's something wrong about that if you're trying to hold on to something like that for that long.
And so back to suffering.
Yeah.
Like, suffering itself is a paradox. It doesn't even exist.
Right.
I mean, pain is real.
Right. Yeah.
But suffering is holding on to something that's an idea.
Yeah.
That's not real.
Yeah.
And so it's like an unwillingness to move through, allow, make peace with. Like, it is what it is. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
And we all have different types of suffering too. You know? And some of it is actual pain. Some of it is just like completely intolerable pain where they have to take opioids or whatever, fentanyls and all these things too.
I would just, for sake of conversation, I would just call that pain.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't call that. I mean, theoretically, you can be in suffering constantly from a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But I've been in a lot of pain for a long time before. I've had back issues.
Right.
I wasn't thinking, I suck, poor me, why'd I get this?
Right.
Like beating myself up internally the whole time. I mean,
yeah.
And like some people have a hard time meeting the day with a smile when they're in pain.
Yeah.
Like for me,
for sure.
Like that's my exercise. Like how do I meet the day bright all the time? Like even in the worst amount of pain, like I still exist.
Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, I know for a lot of people, even like physical pain is almost more understandable and almost more explainable You know, like if you're dealing with something like heartbreak or a death of a loved one, or something that you like can't come to terms with, like that type of suffering is like a whole different ball game where like you're like, why did this happen? It's like, oh, my back hurt. It's like, oh, it's because I was doing this shit and this shit. But it's like
quantifiable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got science behind it.
Yeah, right. Well, or
Logic.
at least like objective experience happened.
Totally.
Yeah. And it's like,
just throwing back to the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's real though, because emotional shit is different from everyone. It's intangible. It's unquantifiable.
Yeah.
And like, all a therapist can do is just listen.
Yeah, it's true.
You just keep paying them to listen.
Yeah.
And like, it's up to you. I mean, yeah, and we enter into gray area when you talk about how to deal with stuff.
Yeah, because it's almost relying on the patient to reveal things or to become more vulnerable in order to like unveil like what the deal actually is.
Totally.
And then once they can
admit
admit that,
drink some honest tea.
right? LSD.
That would help.
Under close supervision in the right circumstances.
Unless you just want to be a fun guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and these are like, maybe you only have to do that once in your life,
Right.
To at least at least understand that you are not the person who you are all the time,
right.
Or that you can at least dissociate yourself and like see yourself from another point of view, And if you can do that, and you can see your mind, and you can see your mind how it works, and you can be like, you're not your mind.
Right. Sometimes you have to disassociate in order to associate.
Yeah. But a lot of people think that they're their mind.
Right.
Dude,
that's another, like...
Yeah.
I'm not my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, like I am my mind, I am my body, I am blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Being able to observe my mind is like, holy shit, that's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. and it's a tool,
Yeah.
And it's just
and it's got its own mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it does. Like it's so weird to like see yourself like act. You're like this. It's like, oh, there I am. Oh, I'm back to the full again. And I'm just like,
Totally.
It's like, why did I do that? Why am I doing this right now?
Yeah, and then
or whatever.
Like, on another angle of that too, it's like, I kind of believe there's the mind that we're all part of.
Yeah.
It's not me. Like,
Yeah.
like we all have our bandwidth spectrum to the subgroups that we're part of.
Yeah.
It's like mind is a Facebook group.
Yeah, right. Or, I mean, in real life, though, I mean, it's just the people you're around,
Totally. Yeah.
Like, we're completely connected to the people who we surround ourselves with.
Totally.
And then the people, and they rub off on us, and we rub off on them in different weird ways that it's like, I think about throughout the day. I'm like, oh, well, this person I know does this. Like, I'm going to try that too, or maybe I'll start talking like that person,
right.
just from a reflex, like just because we had a fun time that time and it just was great, and like this is how we talked at the time or something, like because I see that in like other people all the time too, because I'm like, oh, you've been hanging around that person a lot. Right. I can tell just by the way you're talking to me.
and dialect, diction, and diphthongs, colloquialisms.
Rubs off.
There's the program, the grammar.
Yeah.
The programmer, the language, the code, the reality, the pattern, rhythm recognition.
Yeah.
And we're recognizing rhythms, making patterns. And so it's like humans are palindrome generators.
I feel like everything you just said was like a rap song that like...
I'm a pattern, rhythm recognizer, recognizing, making patterns. Recognizing rhythm, making patterns.
That's sick.
The pater,
the
mater, the seed in the soil, the matrix.
Okay.
And the pattern. Because you can't. Where's the pattern go if there's no surface to imprint it on?
Right.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah. That's like
it's just a wave. It's not a particle.
The background is just as much a part of us as we are a part of it. Right. Like without the background, we would not exist. Like
which is the matrix.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a dirty trick. It's just like...
So everything that is spiritual is like the original religion of animus, the animus. So
it's
like
the spiral ritual.
Right.
The spirit reality.
Okay. Okay.
You know, the fine-tooth thread of logos over time that feels like it's in a loop, but
Yeah.
it's a machine thread that elevates very slowly. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and so that's the caduceus, DNA, wave
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah.
Oscilloscopes measure electricity.
Right.
They give us a 2D visual of the waveform so we can measure the amplitude, but
but it is spiraling.
It spirals around the wire. You know, a lot of people think, oh, electricity's in the wire. No, it's not.
Right.
It's around the wire. And so that's why they have many strands in wires that need high frequency, clean electricity so that you have multiple wires to run multiple circuits
because it's
multiple pathways of energy.
Field.
Right. Right.
You know, it's like you are electrically magnetizing this wire when you're running electricity through it.
Totally.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I was right about that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
like,
that
sounds right
to me.
Electricity, like, I've never said it before.
Electricity and magnetism.
Yeah, that's
aren't
exactly
the same.
Yeah,
but you create electricity with magnets.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, rotating magnetic fields and spiral vortex of a bipolar generator. You know, two-phase power.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we call it single phase, but there's two poles on the generator.
Yeah.
Commercial power is 3-phase.
Okay.
And so commercial power, you can run 30 amps.
Yeah.
On big stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But you've got 3 legs running 30 rather than 1 leg running 100.
Okay.
So then you got lower flow, more torque, less heat, less resistance.
Yeah.
It's like water pressure.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yep.
And so it's like, you know, we're really jumping far here, but frequency.
Electromagnetic 101. Here you go, folks.
Yeah. You know,
but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It is a very much like an essential part of who we are. It's an essential part of how our brain works, you know?
I mean, nature is electric and magnetic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we couldn't generate magnetism and electricity.
Well,
Man didn't make electricity.
Even at the atomic level, there's like negative and positive types of
yin yang.
Yeah, exactly.
Dark and light. The polarity, the duality, the paradox. Without the duality, there's no something to observe.
Right.
But the paradox is, hey, we're all one.
Yeah. You know, like it's.
But I'm still not you.
Yeah. At least not right now.
Right. Well, but
according
to
time.
But when you're now.
Yeah.
And you flip that over.
Yeah. Now you win.
You've won.
Oh, okay.
NOWWON.
Okay. Yeah. Dig it. Right.
Yeah. And you're on time.
Yeah.
Only because when you flip that over, you emit it.
Okay.
EMIT.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MIT might say something different.
Yeah. The actual Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They say a lot of things. Yeah.
Hey, you know, they're paid to say stuff.
They sure are.
They make, same thing. They make money saying stuff. If they don't say stuff, they don't make money.
No, they don't. Yeah, so they got to say something.
Right.
You know, and it's always cutting
edge.
Sorry,
we figured it all out.
Yeah.
Nothing to see.
We're going to close up shop for this century.
No more information, no.
We got it. We figured it all out. Here we are.
Case closed.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Right. But I think they're there. They just won't reveal that they're at the end. And I think that is the problem with reality, is that they're too afraid to say it's all figured out. Well, because I'm proposing a hypothetical scenario. I mean, obviously I can't prove this, and it's probably not true.
Yeah.
And I mean, just to finish the idea, is, you know, people have been doing shit for a long time, and fundamentally we haven't changed.
No, not at all.
You know,
our problems are exactly the same.
You know, who cares about technology? You know, social psychology is the only tool.
It's changing the perspective a little bit, but we're still doing the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it controls the perspective, but it doesn't change the bandwidth of perception.
No.
There's a finite bandwidth of perception and human potential and possibility.
Yeah.
That's existence of day one.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a certain amount.
Say, at least.
Yeah. I always think of. I brought this up to you the other day about Huxley's cerebral reducing valve idea and all that. Like, I always, it's not like.
What's the point? What's the goal?
Right. Well, what's the point of the theory, or like?
Yeah, like what?
Well,
what is it?
the point of the theory is that the brain's only so big, and so we can only kind of absorb so much of the infinite consciousness at a time. Thereby saying that we're only like a thread, like the subjective reality that each individual is just a thread of an infinite, being in a sense, right? Or in an infinite consciousness, whatever that actually means, you know. I mean, obviously, it's a flawed theory in like.
I guess I'm looking at it more of like a tool. Okay, I'm tired of thinking. I'm gonna turn my consciousness flow meter down.
Yeah, like I got a valve.
Is that ultimately what it is? Is that like a oversimplified theory?
The other thing that he was saying was a part of that was it had to do with drugs, basically, and how like different drugs affected the mind, opened up different doorways in the mind, opened up different modes of thought almost, right, or different modes of what the consciousness can be, or. It's not a turn off the flow valve; it's a steer the flow valve. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Gotcha. Because I mean, if you turn it off, then you're dead, probably. Right. Yeah, your cat's up there on the roof.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah. But yeah, that it's the old Doors of Perception book, basically. Once the doors of perception are cleansed, things will appear as they truly are.
Right. Can you unknow something?
Yeah.
Like, is it possible to unknow?
Right.
Is it possible to even forget?
Okay.
I think you can choose to not remember. So you can wipe your slate clean even though it never disappears.
Yeah.
And so, like, therein lies, like, kind of back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm suffering trying to delete this thing, and rather than just, like, making peace for it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're burning out a hot wire on one thought.
Yeah. This doesn't exist. This cannot compute.
Scramble.
Yeah, like, you gotta confront these things. Like, people are afraid of shit a lot. Right. They're afraid of their own thoughts, man. Right. Like,
oh, dude, on my way home earlier, I was thinking about fear. It was what is fear?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, better question. What's the ultimate supreme root of fear?
Okay. Yeah.
Doubting the universe. There is no God.
Okay.
I'm not being taken care of.
Yeah.
There is nothing out there
Yeah.
that has my support and benefit in mind.
Mm-hmm.
There is no conscious universe. God is just an idea.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I'm just a lonely meat bag on a dirt ball.
Yeah.
Floating in an infinite void of hyperspace.
Yeah.
And I can't control anything.
That's also completely unbelievable, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
As much as God's unbelievable, like, the physical reality of existence seems pretty fucking unbelievable. Like, it's like, oh well, everything just happened this way.
But that's the paradox that proves God.
Yeah, in a way. But it also says something else.
If it was left to humans, we'd have been blown this whole place up long time ago.
Maybe so.
But maybe we've blown it up a few times already.
Yeah, maybe a ton of other alien species have too on different planets. You know, like that's one of the theories about like
Atlantis, Lemuria, Mars.
Right.
Orion's belt.
Yeah, I mean, like the billions and the billions, man.
Yeah.
Like it's happened before. Right. We just don't know, man. We just don't know everything. We can't.
Which brings me back to the beginning of like, I don't believe in knowing.
Yeah.
I don't believe in believing. There's nothing to know. There's nothing to think. I'm constantly shown what I need to do every second, every moment. The happening is happening, and that's why I'm happy.
Right.
I'm happy because I'm happening.
Yeah.
Happiness doesn't mean everything's going exactly my way.
Right. The way that you think that you want it to go.
I'm in the happeningness.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you got to adhere to. Right. You can't just go into something with like this whole plan and think it's going to go exactly like that. Because you get there and everything's different.
Right.
It's like...
So check this one out.
Yeah.
So I haven't really... Well, I told you I do poetry, but I haven't actually shared anything with you.
Sweet. Yeah.
So fear.
Yeah.
Fear is foe, forcing fallibility from friends when fond, friendly function is all they sought in the end. Fear is fried pride falsely falling from the face.
Mm-hmm.
Fear killed intelligence. Fight or flight won the race.
Interesting. Feels good. It feels real good.
It's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, that's what poetry is, you know?
Right.
Like, yeah. I dig it, man.
Right.
As far as fear goes, I always assume, like, it's framing to me a lot, too.
Right.
As far as, like, I try to reframe fear as excitement, and I try to, like,
newness.
What's that?
Newness.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because people are afraid of something
Change.
that's new, of
Right.
change.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, failure is totally familiar and comfortable. Success,
Right.
scary as fuck.
Yeah. Yes.
Getting the girl,
Yeah.
scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Am I good enough? Oh shit, what am I gonna do? Getting the job, holy shit, I'm gonna work forever and I'm having kids.
Yeah,
oh man, but is when you jump in, shit works out.
Yeah, it does.
You know, like I make things out of mud and get it really hot and hope it sells.
Yeah, that's what these are back here. Some kilns,
you know,
right?
And I think action proves response.
Yeah.
Response doesn't create action.
Yeah.
It's illogical.
Right.
So I can't receive unless I do.
Yeah. And if you're afraid to do, you know, it's like you won't. And like, so you have to like reframe it to be excited about that thing, you know, and go towards that thing and confront that thing, I think, you know.
Totally. But so that's another thing. Fear is always self-affirming.
Okay. In a sense that like it makes complete sense for yourself to be afraid of it.
Right. And you'll respond as if the negative happened even though it didn't, because XYZ in the past, blah blah blah. I didn't take the job, I didn't approach the girl, I didn't I abstained from adventure or growth. Right. Because I'm fearful.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know, you just didn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. And what happens even more often then is like a regret of not even knowing what you're missing. Right. You know, it's like well, if I do this and all this bad shit might happen, and so you know I'm just gonna.
That's why you got to commit. You got to commit to negativity, so there's no doubt that you're right.
Yeah, that's true too. Wow.
And so when you commit to the negativity, you're doubling down on your position. Yeah. So you don't look like a liar. Yeah. And so you're finding power and confidence and congruency in your negativity.
Yeah. And the old line, what was it? I miss the comfort in being sad, right?
Yeah.
Like,
which is negative attention attracting.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't come out of depression because everybody's like, oh,
right.
Are you okay?
Right.
You know, and so it's like a rainy day gets a lot more attention than like being sunshine. Oh, look at this arrogant fuck.
Right.
You know, everything going great for him. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like a fine line to be like not too positive and cocky.
You got to be real, in a sense. Right. You know,
like you just ride the middle. How you doing? Okay.
You know, I'm not doing great. You know, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing,
stuff.
You know, you know, I don't know. Just really pull from the bottom.
But I mean, like, personally, it's like, if my happiness steps on your toes, fuck you.
Right, you know, and there's that part of it, I think, you know, that's completely genuine, too.
Yeah, I mean,
because
it's like,
you got to go forward.
I'm not here to, like wave anything in your face.
I'm not here to hold your hand either, man.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, well, it's the door's here, man. I went through it. What's up? You know, like, it's your turn now.
I guess you're on the wrong floor.
Yeah, jump out of the airplane. We're on an airplane, man. It's just go. Just go. Right. It's a good time.
Yeah, and you know, and I think that describes a lot of where we're at.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what are you choosing?
Right.
Not what's happening to you. What are you choosing?
Yeah.
Even if the choosing hasn't turned a result yet.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you committing to that choice no matter what, in unwavering degree that there is no other possibility that can even happen?
Right, yeah. And Yeah, because that's I mean, that's commitment right there, you know? That's exactly what that is. And it's like, work as hard as you can in that direction, I think, you know? Like, um,
But working hard's a slippery slope too.
yeah.
Because
yeah.
a lot of people believe in working hard and never go anywhere.
Yes, that's very true too. Yeah.
You know, it's like,
whoopsh,
I'm working hard, leave me alone.
Yeah, yeah.
I was trying to show you there was something over here that...
Yeah. It's like, hey man, take a break. Like, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Right.
Like, that's for real.
Right.
You know, like,
maybe they're trying to hurt themselves so they can take the infinite break.
Right, yeah. And it's an excuse more than it is a...
I'm gonna love myself and have boundaries and, you know, show deference to my actual needs.
Yeah.
Rather than just, like, be the martyr and burn myself to the ground.
Yeah. Like, I've done... I did 1,000 of these things in a row, and now, like,
there's a good word for that.
Yeah.
Self-immolation.
Oh, interesting.
You know what that is?
No.
You ever seen the burning Buddha?
No.
When he sets himself on fire and
yeah.
That's called self-immolation.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. That's like the highest form of...
It's kind of Mahasamadhi.
Okay.
You know what that is?
No.
Mahasamadhi is like consciously choosing to take your last breath.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's not suicide.
Okay.
I'm stepping out of my body.
Okay.
I'm not
like
having violent thoughts of escape.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Like my time is done.
Yeah.
Everything's cool. See you later.
Yeah, right?
Thanks for the ride.
This is my time, and it's done. Right. Okay, great.
Right.
We had fun,
right.
You know?
Like Yogananda, you know.
Okay. It reminds me a lot of like a Hunter S. Thompson kind of thing, or like a
go out with
Hemingway.
The biggest bang possible.
Right, yeah.
Live fast, die with a beautiful corpse.
Ernest Hemingway, right? Like,
who said that? Jim Morrison,
probably
one of those guys.
Could have been
27 Club.
Yeah, right. Yup. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't look down on people that go that route.
Nah. I mean, it's obviously in your chart and you chose it and it happened and it's unarguable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like it's like there are sad suicides, I think.
Yeah.
And then there is like...
I think it should be illegal to force somebody to stay.
Right, yeah.
But the reverse is true.
And also, like, we have forms of help that we also create that are illegal, you know?
Right.
And that hinders us a lot as well, you know? If we're hindering ourselves from being able to see our own mind, like we were talking about earlier, and use that type of tool, then we're hindering the entire human race from being able to even, like, take care of our own emotional selves.
Right.
You know? And that's causing tons of suicides.
And it's unfortunate that only negative news sells.
Yeah, right.
When's the last time you saw positive news?
Yeah.
You know, so, okay, it's like, I guess entropy's the game.
Old Bill Hicks, man. Like, right? Like, he's like, when's the last time you heard the 5 o'clock news and they said, today's young man on acid discovered that all life is just truly an illusion and we're all just one person experiencing ourselves subjectively. Here's Tom with the weather.
Whether or not you like it.
Yeah.
You're all fucked.
Yeah, right. We're all going to be fine.
But the paradox is somebody got fucked to get you here.
Right.
And you got fucked on your way out.
It's coming or going, man. I don't know.
It's inescapable. You're fucked.
Cheers.
Right. For unknown carnal knowledge.
Right.
You ever heard that one?
Probably. It sounds appropriate.
Sailor euphemism.
Okay.
You know. But here, while we're on the sailor topic, you know, like shit. You know the origin of shit?
No.
So like when somebody, when the explorers would go down in the belly of the ship.
Okay.
with the lantern.
Yeah.
And the barrels of manure got wet and started decomposing, letting off methane.
Wow.
They say "holy shit" when the boat explodes.
Yeah, damn. Why do they have all that?
But what I mean, they didn't say "holy shit," but what they did do is they put the acronym SHIT, ship high in transit, on the manure.
Okay. Interesting.
Right?
Weird.
Isn't it amazing how literal most shit is?
Right. It's exactly what it is.
Right.
This is the same shit.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Literaturely.
So going back to what you were saying before, and this is something that I really liked, is the idea that we already know everything, because in a sense I completely agree with this, okay? Because it's like humans keep doing the same thing over and over again, like nothing's really changed, you know? Like you read Shakespeare, you can pretty much understand what's happening, you know? Right. But in the other aspect of it, like I've always really liked the idea of like looking at knowledge as if it is like an ocean, and like the only things that we know is like the dock out on, like that's how far we know out.
Perfect setup.
Right. Okay.
So here it is.
Yeah.
K doesn't really exist as an audible letter.
Okay.
It's a glyph. It's like a vibrational generator hieroglyph.
Okay.
You know, like the H, you know, like honest doesn't really sound that honest.
Right. Okay.
Like, it's
okay.
not honest. It's not hairy.
Right.
It's honest. It's
yeah.
O-N-S-T.
Yeah. It's like silent
right.
H. Right?
But really, we're not pronouncing it right. It's the honest one. It's the most honed.
Okay.
We're honing. That's not what I meant to say.
Right.
But
Right.
U-turn. Knowledge.
Yeah.
At the end of the pier.
Yeah.
Or the dock.
Yeah.
We're peering into the future from now's ledge.
Okay.
So as we stand on now's ledge, we are riding the wave of presence.
Yeah.
Of the infinite now.
Yeah.
There is no future. There is no past.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. You know.
And so there's nothing to know. The brain doesn't contain anything. It's a saline salt sack.
Okay.
Like there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of electrical, vibrational resistances that are a bunch of frequencies that are pattern rhythm recognized to give us an experience of electrolysis that says, "Hey, I'm happy or sad," but all that is being triggered from the nowness.
But what about memories though? What about like memories? You know what I mean?
I don't believe that's stored in your brain.
Okay.
Like I don't think the brain is even a storage device.
This is very so what we were saying earlier, right? Like are the things that we know come from experience, or do we already have them when we were born?
Both and.
Yes.
You know, some people have past life traumas that can't explain the reasons why they feel crazy about shit.
Yeah.
And then they get some Akashic record reading or go do some tarot or get, ayahuasca
and something makes sense to them.
All of a sudden they're like,
yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I was drawn and quartered and burned alive as a witch.
I mean,
120 lives ago. I can't prove it, but hey, it feels right.
Right. Yeah. I've always.
Whatever your solution is, I approve.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because I just the way that I think of it's way simpler. Like I just like.
But
I just
we're in
remember.
Ashville, you know.
Yeah. You got to go for the glory. You know, like you got to like hit them hard. You know, hit them high.
Dude, do the breath work. Ingest all the things. Deprive yourself of comfort.
Yeah.
Wring yourself out to dry.
Yeah.
And come crawling back to reality so that you love everything.
I seen my spirit animal.
Right.
I know who he is.
Right. I mean, it's real shit.
Yeah.
I love to make fun of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not fun.
Because it's hokey shit, you know, and it's like
that's been around a lot longer than science.
That's true too. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, paganism, like.
Totally.
the worship of nature, you know, like Taoism, you know, like all these things that are very much like in tune with like, okay, well, how does the world work? Because that's how we work, because we're part of it, you know, and like that's a direct line, you know, like that isn't like going like, oh well, we work this way because there is this being that said, hey, like you're like me, and so whoever this being is that looks like us made us, and like it made us separate than nature, and but it also made nature and didn't make nature like itself.
But the thing
too,
is there's no spirit in that tree. Get out of my way! I'm chopping it down.
Right.
Like go to church. We're taking their minerals. We're cutting your land.
It's just having different boundaries. It's like saying, hey, like the tree's alive, but it's not really alive, and but we are.
Don't worry, we're going to plant some more.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be ready for another 30, 50, 100 years, but we planted some more.
And we're gonna cut down twice as many tomorrow, but it doesn't matter. Right, yeah. It's
and too much carbon in the atmosphere is a really bad thing because we don't want to feed the plants.
Well, it's completely sadistic, man. It's like
everything is made of carbon.
Maybe if I just download my brain to a diamond and then just like give up, man. Maybe some aliens will find my diamond brain in like
just die,
50, 100 years. Yeah, just die already. Why are you still here?
or is it your demons? Or just demons?
Jesus Christ, right? Yeah.
Demanding diamonds from demons. But while we're mining mines that mine the mines of the minders who mined all the mines.
I mean, I don't mind though.
I don't mind. I mean, I feel sorry for those who are mining the mines, but never mind.
You gotta jump on the Bronco sometime, man. It's like,
elemental. Yeah. The minerals are the mental. The elements are the vibrational frequencies of the mind. Without the mineral element kingdom, I don't. I'm sticking to my platform of like, there's no periodic table. Okay. There's the elemental kingdom.
Okay.
I mean, the periodic table is like turning trees and dirt into inanimate, soulless objects.
Right.
You know, so get out of the way. We're cutting it down. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sell you some paper.
I got better ideas than what
oral tradition's stupid. We need books. I'm gonna print what you're supposed to think.
Right.
Rather than listening to your grandma that has lineage that's been 50 generations passed down. Yeah. Shut up and go to school.
I've seen people be angry at other people embellishing stories.
Right.
I'm just like, why? Like, it's just a story. Like, whatever way they want to remember it, that's probably fine, you know? Because it's not hurting anybody most of the time, and it's, like, making them feel better about themselves. You know, because sometimes people can't control their reality, you know? And they make up stories to say, hey, well, this was what I did, and this is what happened, and this is why I did it, and it all makes sense to me, and I feel I don't have any regrets about it.
You didn't go to college?
Right.
You don't know what's going on.
Right.
Who gave you permission to talk? Where's your papers? Where's your title?
Yeah.
You know
this is a meritocracy, damn it. Like, you gotta earn your wings
You're not
to
professional.
To fly this goddamn airplane.
I've been here for fucking 38 years. I know exactly what's going on. I don't need you to tell me anything.
The entire universe started in 1983, as far as I'm concerned. Right. Before that, there was no history.
Nothing existed before me.
Yeah. I think I'm probably the only one here.
Everything here is a function of my birth.
You're only here to satisfy my own delusion.
You're hearing me, right? Yeah. Are you listening?
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Right.
Yeah. So that is
spin it out a little bit.
That's a question. That's a question and an answer, probably.
Right. There are no answers. Yeah. But the question is the question is the quest I'm on. Is the question.
Okay.
The question is the answer.
Right.
The quest is the answer. It's the journey, not the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why people don't want you to tell them the truth. People don't want you to tell them what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like, people are going to call you an asshole for pointing out mistakes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what do you think? You're better than me?
Right. Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to have original thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think that exists either.
No.
Or like from this angle, like it's like trying to be a songwriter and writing your masterpiece or something, right?
Well, I can't write that. He said that. Oh, I can't write that. That's been said.
How do you try to write a masterpiece though?
Right.
How do you try to do something like that? It's not. It's like what you were saying.
Well, try doesn't mean attempt. It means 3.
Okay.
Back to language. We're all speaking wrong. You know, what do you mean?
Yeah, because we don't necessarily always have the words that we don't know the words sometimes, or we don't have them to speak, you know, to really say what we mean or say what we think. And a lot of times the way we think is based off of the language, you know. And so if the language ends at certain spots that we're blind to, we have blind spots.
We're either languishing in language or experiencing the anguish of the language.
Man, you got answers, man. You got a good response. Not answers. Not answers.
I don't have answers. I have solutions. I only have solutions.
Yeah.
SOUL.
Okay.
UTION. You know, Del Sol, they say, is the sun. SOL.
Right.
You're just shit out of luck.
Shit out of luck. Yeah, I was about to say. And ships are exploding.
Right. Holy ship.
But I guess what I was trying to say is that, like, and not to the triple trying or anything like that.
I'm just being
facetious in a sense, right?
I'm full of shit.
No, I think that nobody, like, but what you were saying that I connected to, right, is the quest that you're on, right? If you are on the quest to write songs, whatever is your best song is going to be your masterpiece regardless. It's not like you tried. Maybe your masterpiece isn't even a song that you like particularly. It's maybe not your favorite song you ever wrote.
I left the song.
Yeah.
Or you write the song. You left a song behind.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That happens a lot.
I just lost the thought.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's like I don't know, like I speak from that viewpoint a lot because I write songs a lot, you know, and it comes a lot more naturally now than it used to. But yeah, okay.
The journey is the journal.
Cool. Yeah.
Like the quest is the question.
Yeah.
The path is the game.
Yeah. I believe that.
Everybody's game's different.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, that's true too. And that's really hard for people, you know? Like when they're like, "Hey, like, did you win the game?" And it's like, "I'm not playing the same game, man." You know?
I'm not playing. This is serious.
Yeah. Right. Oh, right. But
I'm pleading from serious.
I'm just speaking from this week in my life. I feel like too, just like as far as like I've had this guy, like an old friend of mine's voice in my head, and like what he thinks is winning the game has been in my head, and I've been fighting it, you know.
Right.
And it's like I know that's not my answer, and I know that that's not the game that I'm playing, and so I've purposely not talked to him recently. Just so that I don't have that.
But that's a paradox too.
Yeah.
Because I've had to convince myself to play the game.
Okay, yeah.
What else is there?
Right. Well, and it's your game to choose.
Maybe you don't like his language and his framing of it.
Right.
And so, but
because I am going
this is
down
the game.
The same path.
We're here setting the stage in the game.
Yeah.
Like you're gaming the system right now.
Right.
We're all gaming the system.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's because also what is not a game. Yeah. Like there's a lot of people. The game makes
it a little more fun and light.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Hey, if you don't do the right thing, you're gonna die.
Right.
This isn't a game.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. This is life or death.
Right.
This is
you need to buy health insurance. You need a 401k.
Yeah.
You need to just go to work, get a 9 to 5.
Because what's gonna happen if you die? Because what's gonna happen if everything fails?
Heaven doesn't let in broke people. Didn't you know?
Yeah, right. I have the needle, man. It's harder for a poor person to get into heaven than a rich person to fit through the eye of a kiln.
Yeah, you're killing it. Right.
Yeah, those rich people get pretty big sometimes, though, man. Not all of them fit in those kilns.
It's true. Well, I mean, I think actually though, everybody weighs about 2 grams once you're done.
Oh, okay. All right. Ain't no fat catting about that one, man.
No.
So,
But we could turn you into a glaze.
hey, I'll take a couple like a baker's dozen, probably.
Glazed and confused.
Make mine maple.
Right. Short stack.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go to Waffle House. Have fun out there.
Smothered, covered, and chunked. Right. Oh, back to the game.
All day, yeah.
Well, the All-Star.
All-Star breakfast?
The waffle, the hash browns, choice of meat or patty, or bacon, 2 eggs. I mean, it's great thinking about it, but it never comes out well.
Okay. So, all right, I want to get back to
off the waffle.
Yeah. I want to get back to a couple lines of thought that I wanted to make sure we hit too.
Okay. Let's get serious.
Yeah, this is dead nuts serious
Final
right now.
countdown.
Yeah. So we were talking a lot about the double slit theory and stuff like that, and like, does nature know what's going to happen before it happens? Okay.
Nature's the happening and the knower.
Okay. So that makes sense because that's what the science is showing too.
Right.
And so if that's true, then does free will exist, right?
You've got the free will to believe it exists.
Yes. And you had an illustration about this that I remember about you're free to do what you want to on the airplane that's going to LA, right?
Right.
But
you can sit anywhere you want on the plane, but we're all going to the same place.
Yes.
All rivers lead to the ocean.
And so what happens though if somebody can figure out how to use the materials inside the cockpit to actually teleport themselves to a different plane?
It was obviously in their karma to figure that out.
Well, that's cool. But is that free will, right? Like,
no, I don't think you had I mean, like, I guess the paradox is
yeah,
you have the free will to believe that's your freedom.
Okay.
Even though if you, like, the astrologer reads your chart.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Rahu Aquarius in the 12th house, and
yeah,
you know, you're a
he do voodoo, you do voodoo, like yeah.
Pisces ascendant with the blah 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 moon.
You're like, shy but very charismatic.
Like, you got the space-time jumper chart here. You didn't know this, but your quantum QR code says it all.
I downloaded that scanner and just scanned my ear the other day.
Right. It's Astro Logos, not Astro maybe, Astro sometime, Astro possibly, Astro belief,
Astro Omega.
It's astrology. It's astrologic. Logic. It's not astro religion. It's not astro. It's Vedic science. It's not.
Maybe Sarah does the astro.
Right. And so the only reason how they come up with, like, if this, then that means this because your chart says this, because we've been analyzing people's charts for 10,000 years uninterruptedly, and every person that's born in India has their chart done and their whole life categorized.
Yeah. And they believe that, maybe, you know.
No, it's science. There's no belief.
Oh, okay.
See, I believe in Vedic science.
Right, okay.
Not
like
Western science.
The Hindu text kind of thing?
That's... The text is not the science.
Isn't that what the Vedas are, right? It's like the text?
I mean, Veda means knowledge.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, I'm not completely clear. It's been a while since I've, been in this world.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We can touch down on it a little bit, but I mean,
Well,
it's
yeah.
the science of the soul. It's not the science of dirt.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Singular organization of unified light.
Interesting. Yeah, because it's all just the bandwidth of spectrum
Right.
of electromagnetic frequencies.
Right. Yeah. Living information generator of harmonic truth.
Mm-hmm.
LIGHT.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so the generator of harmonic truth, everything is light.
Yeah.
We're all vibrations emanating a resistance level to give ourselves a shape, color, and sound.
Right. Yeah.
And a density.
And like the density that we are,
What are
whatever, whatever the resident frequencies of our bone is.
Right.
You know, we could shake that apart with a sound. You
totally.
know?
Yeah.
Like
high frequency. I mean, what is Wi-Fi?
Right. Exactly.
Ultrasonic cleaning.
Yes. And it's we don't necessarily know all the consequences of all these actions yet either. You know. Because certain frequencies can be damaging to us for sure.
Well, I think the biggest,
whether the G5 is or not.
But here's the thing that I don't hear people say is like, man didn't make frequencies. We're piggybacking on natural spectrums that birds, bees, trees, plants, fish all have already existed on.
Yeah.
You know, Wi-Fi is their neural network.
Okay. Yeah.
We're bombarding, piggybacking our high frequency electronic gigabit data of binary code of ones and zeros onto the natural spectrum.
Yeah.
Science didn't create any frequency megahertz spectrum.
Yeah. No, because that's what we're made out of.
And that's why Wi-Fi and cell phone towers.
We can't invent the thing that we're made out of.
Right, but that's why bees are the most evident species on the planet that are affected by EMF.
Okay. Yeah. Because their entire being is like operating on
no
that.
pun intended.
Right.
Right. Being.
Yeah.
They are the only animal on Earth that is named a being.
Yeah.
The bees be bees.
Yeah. That's my name.
Right, BB. Here, done.
Mic drop.
That's all.
Yeah, the camera ran out, but I think this guy's still going. You know, I'm the way I'm going to edit this afterwards is just like with some stock footage, you know, on the video.
Cool.
But and then there was one other thing I wanted to touch on too, is the idea that science is satanic, right? Like I remember
don't put that on me.
Okay.
Quite. Don't,
Gotcha.
Let's
Right.
not go there.
Okay.
I think
that's why I left that toward the end.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that I'm not here to tell people what is anything.
Because that cross. I mean, it's fun to say, and
Right.
it's like, it's.
I think archetypally,
Yeah.
we can play that card.
Okay.
Because the story that I didn't make up.
Yeah.
Lucifer wanted to be better than God.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to create his own world and universe that was outside the realm of divine creator.
Yeah.
So that was the separation of the state from the church.
Yeah, it's like
And
a
so
parallel story almost, right?
Right.
Like it works really well in that context.
Right.
You know, where you're like, are we fighting against nature? Is nature perfect? Is
Right.
nature God made, or
Right.
is it just God
Right.
itself?
I mean, even
you know?
even the whole Satanism Lucifer story is a paradox as well, because Lucifer is the light bringer, the pentagram is material earth and the tarot.
Yeah.
The star.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I understand esoterically.
Okay. Yeah.
The nature of the pentagram and the 5, which is the 5th house, Leo, sun, creation, world projector. You know, the light.
Yeah.
You know, Venus is the morning star.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a Venusian, all you're worried about is your self-pleasure.
Okay.
So you're a materialist Satanist.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's pretty benign. Like, you're selfish. You know, it doesn't mean you eat babies.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, whoever does that is well beyond...
Yeah, for sure.
Satanism. You know, because I think there's a lot of Satanists out there that aren't assholes.
Right, yeah.
You know.
They believe in the pagan nature of it, in a sense, right? Like,
and I would say
what is nature?
Right, and that's a gas. And I think even calling paganism, Satanism is more of an old religious distortion.
Okay.
So
yeah,
you don't go
I
to,
could see
so
that
you go
too.
to church and pay your tithe.
Yeah.
And so everything gets repeatedly inverted and inverted and inverted and inverted.
Yeah.
And so we're like living,
because it's
thousands of years of inversions.
So here's a interesting thing I've been thinking about lately, is the idea that the way that humans operate, the way that we operate our minds, is like like an operating system for a computer. The operating system for our own mind.
I can't compute her. I'm still trying.
The operating system for our mind then might be a just story format. Like
right.
we
The
might
stories
just
of
operate.
storage are the levels and layers of our constructs that we build.
I mean, in that way, that's a direct parallel, right?
Right.
Like, because if we're storing information in a sense, and that stored information is a story, and that information is what we kind of like, we envision our lives to be stories.
Your store age. How old is your story?
Yeah. Okay. Because I mean, like, it's entertaining, though. It's like, I mean, I tell stories all the time.
Entertaining.
Not outertaining.
Right.
But it is entertaining to the people outside of me. So I don't know the paradox.
Well, it's the experiment, the experimental, the exterior perimeter of the mind.
Okay.
Everything is what the experiment.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
We're just
write this down in your copybooks.
This is just a random number generator, you know.
The Powerball number for today is XQ1 pound sign number numerology hieroglyphic bird.
We are enumerated.
My name is a series of numbers and letters that change hourly forever.
Right. But dude, going back to, the algorithm.
Yeah.
Allah's rhythm.
Yeah.
Algebra.
Yeah.
It's all Arabic spiritual science.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
No metaphor, no analogy.
Right.
Actual, physical, spiritual science.
Because we invented math.
No, we didn't. We didn't invent anything. We think we did. Or we tell ourselves we did.
Well, the version of math that we use is invented by humans. Because there are multiple versions of math that we could use. Right. There's multiple ways that we can invent math that will explain nature the same way.
But what is math? Let's break down the word.
It's ascribing
mathematicus.
Yeah.
Tiamat.
Okay.
Matter.
Yeah.
What's the matter? What's the math? What's the pattern of your matrix? The algorithm of the pattern is the math.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. And so the as the waves turn into particles, the linear logic is divine that gets reflected into the material.
Yeah. Whether it's a wave, whether it's a particle, it has that duality to it.
Right.
And it's both at the same time.
Exactly.
There is no duality. It's a paradox.
Right.
Once again.
It's a pair of dots.
Yeah.
Or it's a pair of ox.
Yeah.
Or it's a pair of docks peering off into the sea. What do you know? You're on Now's ledge.
It's a Goldilocks scenario, really.
Yeah. What does the ledger say?
Heath
Ledger.
I have the book.
He's not here anymore.
I have the book. I'll tell you what it says.
Right. Yeah.
There's no printing presses yet.
Right.
I'm gonna control all of this because I have the word.
Right.
And the word is what I say it is.
Right.
Right.
And so the world went from words to worlds, universes to verbs. Remove the L, change the spelling, and the vision is observed or blurred depending on who is casting the spell.
Damn. Man, you got a million of them, man. That's cool, man. I'm honored you let me document it for you here. This is like
this is top secret information.
Gotcha.
It's never been let out before.
Yeah.
I had to time travel 10,000 years just to land here at the precise moment.
Right. Yeah.
To be in my driveway for this podcast.
I needed to stay in North Carolina for a couple extra days.
What were the odds that I even know you?
Exactly. Like,
it's pretty odd.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. The billions and the billions.
Right. But that's the paradox, because there was no chance that we wouldn't meet.
Right. That's probably true. Yeah, because we always have. Right,
yeah.
Like that was always.
Yeah.
If there wasn't any time, if there wasn't any future or past, it all had just happened.
Right. Totally.
And that's probably how we'll remember it one day,
right.
or whatever that means.
Yeah.
Because I'm very much always in the line of thought that like we have like we say things are spiritual, we say things are more than they are, but we don't really understand what that consist of.
Some do.
Some might have a.
I think it's hard for the one that doesn't to admit.
I don't think anybody does though.
But even if they did, you wouldn't believe it.
That's true. Yeah.
So you are only perceiving through your limited perception.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
And so the people that do know how creation exists
are also observing through their own limited perception.
But that's just your perception. You don't know that.
Well, how do they not have a limited perception, though? You know what I mean? Like, if they're...
Just because you do doesn't mean everybody else does. But maybe that's why they never see the light of day and they're in the Himalayas and...
Right.
They could be 300 years old with no birth certificate.
Yeah. You
wouldn't even know it. But your Western brain that went to academia thinks you know better than the third world.
Right.
Because you're the first world that knows everything.
Right. Yeah. Because we have.
What do you know?
More words.
I'm
than
sophisticated.
Right? Yeah.
I went to school.
Yeah.
People taught me stuff. I gave them money to tell me the truth.
And all that information is.
Right. They got letters behind their name.
Yeah. They have tenure on.
But that's the paradox: is that everything has been discovered. You just haven't discovered everything.
That's also true, yeah.
And so the ultimate paradox is that every life begins ignorant to a degree.
Right, yeah.
Thankfully, in order to have an experience, because the mystery is necessary.
Yeah.
Because I want to have a question on the quest to journal the journey.
Yeah.
It's an adventure.
And the reflection becomes its own mirror in the sense that our endeavors are just are our own forward momentum, but it's coming right at us.
Yo soy mirar. I am to look.
The old looking glass.
Right. It's a pane in the glass. No pain, no painting.
Yeah,
that's why they call it a window pane.
Yeah.
It'll cut you if you fuck up.
Oh man, I really hope that this thing did not fuck up, man. Oh my god, we got that. We have this, dude. Like, this is great.
Yes.
That's cool. We probably have like an hour of film, and then this audio is pretty solid, I think, too.
Cool.
So yeah, this is a good time, man.
Yeah, I'm feeling inspired to share one of my.
Okay, yeah.
Should I do the random number generator and just see?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is, man. Are you making the choice? Is it?
here's the first one just for fun.
Okay, cool.
And I call these like quantum haiku.
Cool.
How do you say it all without saying a word? That's not the poem.
Okay, yeah.
or how do you say it all in one sentence? Right? I mean, because that's what poetry is. Like, how can I
Yeah.
express the most with the least?
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how can I condense, haiku 575?
Right.
Yeah. It's like, here it is. Ignorance does not discriminate, although discrimination only comes from ignorance.
Right. I like what's the part where like this isn't the poetry? Was that still part of it?
No. That was the intro.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Oh,
Like,
here's one that
yeah.
kind of speaks to what we were talking about earlier. Every story is real to the teller. Whatever you believe is real.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it?
Right.
And then then that's important. That's important because if we don't know that it's a story that we're making up in our own head, then there's no way we can change it.
Right.
And
Totally.
we think that we are that story.
Right.
And that's super detrimental.
And just because you remember something doesn't mean it exists or it's true.
Or yeah, it existed the way that you thought it did.
Which is this one right here. Information remembers me.
Yeah.
I don't remember information.
Yeah.
Like, it literally remembers me. It puts me back together.
Nice.
Information is never still.
Hmm.
It's constantly forming formations.
Okay.
It is information constantly, perpetually.
That's wow. The word usage, man. Like we are in formation right now.
Right. When the jet fighters are
Exactly
lined up
thinking.
in formation,
Yeah.
they're moving fast.
Yeah.
They're not static.
No. Well, and even when we're on the highway.
Right.
Well,
here's back to the words.
Okay.
Like nothing's not a word. You can't exist outside of words. You can't even think without thinking of words, even if you're silently thinking to yourself. No matter who you are, how smart you think you are, no matter how rebellious you are.
Yeah.
Words are absolutely, empirically, inescapable, even if you think you can come up with a scenario as if words couldn't exist.
This is this conversation we had yesterday, too.
It's undodgeable. You can only dodge words because you have words to use to dodge them.
That's true, but, I mean, if like, we were telepathic,
if,
right?
There is no if. If doesn't exist. That's just a theory.
Can I communicate to people without words?
No.
Though? Yes, I can.
No, because remember what I was saying is you draw a painting, right? That's not words. I'm
not even talking about that. I'm just talking about
telepathically.
I could look at somebody, man, and they'll know.
But you're gonna trigger an "oh shit, he doesn't like me" sentence in their head.
I can make a facial expression.
Right, but they're gonna feel your vibration in the form of words.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you like to say maybe, but they're going to be like, oh, fuck, this guy doesn't like me.
Well,
or insert a sentence of self-deprecating unworthiness because I got a stupid look.
What if you're just playing? Like, is there, like...
Hypothetically, I get your point.
Yeah, I don't need to know what they're trying to say.
Right.
I just like that they're saying it.
Right.
And it doesn't matter to me.
I would just put money down to say that an experience is impossible to have without word usage. Like, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But I'll bet that nobody's thinking without words.
I've heard... Okay, so this is something that kind of threw me for a loop recently.
Yeah.
They said that only something like 30% of people have like an inner monologue, and or 30% of people don't have an inner monologue, something like that. But that's still a shit ton of people that don't have like a do you have like a voice inside your head that like talks? I guess is the question. I do.
Hell yeah.
It's
my best friend.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And my worst enemy.
Yeah. I'll talk to myself all the time and be like, oh, well, you should do that.
You're a walkie-talkie.
Yeah. But
you're a walking Tonka.
Are there 30% of the people in the world that don't do that?
I don't believe it.
Right? I mean, like, that seems insanity to me.
People can generate that statement and throw it out there as if it's fact.
Right.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, like, who are these people? How
There's
do you
like
even,
400 different languages on Earth.
how do you
Every
even
continent
know?
has a language.
Yeah, how do you know that that's not happening?
I mean, it's like saying, you know, they found a vegan tribe. No, they didn't.
Humans were born scavengers, man.
Exactly.
You know, like,
I'm not saying veganism is bad.
right.
It could be healthy.
Yeah.
But
Depending on how you approach it.
I mean, elephants might be vegans, but they got like 5 stomachs and compounds that can
because
turn
they're
chlorophyll
built
into
that way, right?
friggin' uranium.
Yeah.
Like, how do the biggest animals on Earth eat the smallest, daintiest things?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Blue whales eat plankton.
Yeah, cows eat grass.
Cows eat grass.
Yeah.
But really, that just goes to show that the chlorophyll
It's
and the
probably more
mitochondria,
powerful. Yeah,
it's tangible light.
yeah.
That's why money's green,
Photosynthesis is the easiest form of converting sunlight into energy.
which is sugar,
Yeah.
which is a crystal.
Yeah.
Sucrose, glucose, fructose.
Yep.
You know, so the
exactly.
wave.
Well, that's how they store it. They store it as sugar. Photosynthesis, what happens immediately when the light hits the chlorophyll is that it turns into a substance called ATP.
Yeah, adenosine triphosphate.
Okay.
Osmotic diffusion. Sodium
Okay.
potassium pump.
And then and then once if whatever's not used immediately, then turns into a storage of
Right.
sucrose and sugar, right?
But
Okay.
salt is
Okay.
still a crystal.
It is.
So the vibration of the
It's a
crystal
mineral, yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
But the base root of everything is crystal.
Yeah, I could see that. you know.
Literally. Meth, coke, crack. No, I'm
Right.
joking.
Yeah. Well,
but even
well, we come from the soil.
but
like, we're made out of-
cellulose is a living crystal.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
sucrose glucose crystal. It's
Yeah.
a nanotube antenna.
Yeah.
You know, ceramic clay is a crystal.
I mean, most nanotubes are carbon. right?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, all sand is quartz
Right.
and silicon.
Right. And crystals are the only thing that can send, transmit, and receive waves.
Right.
Nothing can create a wave that's not a crystal.
Wow.
That's why they call it, in a misnomered way, you know, church hijacks nature and spirit. Christ consciousness is really CRYST consciousness. It's Christ consciousness.
Wow. Okay.
It's
okay.
not Christopher.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not Christ.
Yeah.
It's CRYST.
Interesting.
You know.
Yeah.
Christ all.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, Jesus Christos.
Yeah.
They have crystals.
Yeah.
Sus
Wow.
Christos.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, like.
Silicon diode chips.
Yeah. Exactly.
Microchip.
Yep.
LCD, liquid crystal display.
Yep.
Nothing's not a crystal.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
the
like,
vibration of Hertz frequencies creates RGBIV.
What about plastic? Like,
Plaster's an amorphous polymer,
yeah, it's oil.
but it's still a crystal.
Yeah.
It's a polymer
Yeah.
instead of a monomer.
Okay.
And
right.
so like
Yeah. So when you're looking at the the balls and the sticks that make the molecule structure that we can like
Right.
represent anyway in a
Right.
chemistry class or something.
represent.
Yeah.
It's the
Oh,
present
shit.
of the gift.
Yeah.
It's
sure
now.
is. Yeah.
You've won.
What did I win now?
You're winning the game.
I might be.
You're a wiener.
Yeah, probably most likely. Yeah, my wiener does tricks though, at least.
Hot dog.
Hot diggity. No diggity.
I mustered up the energy to catch up.
You'll never catch up now. Like words, man. Words are so.
Which leads me to this
amorphous
one right
and,
here.
like, okay.
I didn't even get to read it yet, but
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you just said words, I got some words to read.
We got
which
words.
Loops the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Reality algorithm generators, pontificating procreators, alphabetically verbalizing vocation, matriculating matrix mechanisms, paternal patterns perpetuate populations, patriarch all pair of dimes pontificate present persistent pairs of rhymes.
Cool. Man. It's a lot. Stacked backwards abstraction of.
Holographic light refraction.
There you go, man.
The resistance is persistence, and it's evidence of our action.
Nice.
Even if you're making it up, it's still true.
360 alley-oop double swish, man. Nothing but net, right?
Whatever you think. Whatever you believe is true.
Right, yeah. How many different, like, to me a lot of times poetry works well if I can combine important sounding words with like very like tangible like actions almost, right?
And then here's the next one.
Okay.
Nothing is meaningless.
Cool.
And it's also meaningful.
Nothing is everything.
What do you mean? Or are you being mean to me? Is that word congruent? Are you being average?
Yeah.
Or are you being an asshole? Are you angry or average? Are you mean? What do you mean? You know, and so it's like we get tongue twisted and paradoxed with our word usage, and so we cast spells that we don't mean because we're speaking in a self-deprecating language that's habitually transferred from our habitat of those we surround ourselves by that have bad programs, which we call grammar, is the language of the spelling of our sentences, which is the reality's result.
Yeah.
Because we're shitty talkers.
Yeah, we are. And we try to find meaning in all of it. Sometimes we're just making puns too, you know? Like
I'm the biggest pontificator of them all.
Yep, right.
I mean, fun, if you can't punt the ball, you're not having fun.
I always used to have the joke. It's like, you see my new Toyota yet, man? And then I'd like break out like an actual
Toyota.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. It's got leather seats.
The force is strong. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's mind over matter.
Right. Yeah. Because you're just choosing to. You're choosing to make what you want out of it, in a sense, too. Right. You know, like there's not any one way that things are, and it's important to point that out to people.
Which leads me to the next one.
Yeah.
Program.
Yeah.
Program. For weight. Programmer. Word coder. Of the hologram. Of the empty weight. It's a hologram. The programmer spells the code of the hologram. Holograms of perceived density is the electrical resistance of the material world. The binary spell, the electronic visual cloud, the spell of the hologram is the program.
Interesting.
We interrupt this program for a special alert. So-and-so's blah blah blah's 5 o'clock news. Back to our scheduled programming.
Could we just post that on Instagram? What's going on right now? Put that on some marshmallows and some graham crackers, man. I don't know.
Graham cracker. You're a graham cracker. You're a cracker graham. Unless you're sending a telegram.
Or a candygram.
Unless you're hooked on Instagram.
Candygram for Mongo.
Unless you got a habit and you just need a gram.
And then you probably have a lot less grams upstairs than you thought.
Right. Dude, but on that note, we're hooked on hopium.
Uh-oh.
Dope, I mean. Watching television screams, sell a million dreams, double down and huddle, shift the market shuffle, kicked out the house, Entropic psychology economic models amplify the obstacles. Selling good is the profit, while the GDP of the CCP got us locked, cocked, and stocked. Ask you a question? Why do we trade trees for Amazon? Digitithing Babylon. Climate strange, strangling change. Dangling hope while we're holding the reins. Waiting for Muhammad, but all we got was Alibaba. Rope-a-dope, make them see butterflies. No rain, no rainbow, no game to show, no name, no pain, no gain. Light and dark, open the heart. There's enough to go around if we all play our part.
Yeah, I'll give it to you on that one, man. Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, right in the house.
Well, for me, Cash is Clay.
You got a few kilns around here, you know. You're killing it. You're killing it.
I'm just a Harry Potter.
Are there Mad Hatter chemicals coming off these things, man?
Well, I mean, just a bunch of crystal methods.
Yeah, right.
Making matrices of crystals.
Christ. Towels.
Christ tiles. Reptiles. Repeating tiles is the scalar wave of the serpent's skin.
I mean, it just flows right off me, man. It just doesn't sink in.
In sync, right? Well, because it's synchronized, it's repetitious. Mm-hmm. It's a repeating tile. It's reptile. It's the scales of the frequencies. The snake, the slither,
the ripples,
ceramic, seraphic.
Yeah.
Surreptitiously.
Snakes used to talk a lot too.
Now they just can't handle it.
Like those humans ate that apple I told them to, and now I just don't even want to talk to him anymore.
But the Potter can handle it. He's a mean mugger.
He's the guy who created the handle. Right.
And they also say that the wheel was first created for throwing pots.
That makes sense. Yeah. Because I mean, like the basin, the foundation, the water, like that's what we are mostly. That's
we are the ethereal river.
Yeah.
WATER. We are the ethereal river.
Yeah.
WATER. The flow. We're all collectively.
Yeah.
The flower of life.
It's geometric, It's
geometry.
It's
geometry.
It's all diametrics, man. It's all
earthmetry.
Diatonics.
Right.
So,
it's biologic.
Mm-hmm.
It has to make sense.
It's the Zenologist would agree with you on that.
The stenographer.
I'm no paleontologist, but I'm pretty sure what's happening right now. Yeah. It's pretty big.
Right. Nah, I mean, we're spinning out on fun with words, but
right, yeah.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is life and why? Right. It doesn't.
What else are we doing here?
Right. Yeah.
What the fuck? There ain't nothing to do here.
No,
except
not really.
have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we're a fun guy.
Don't think about it too much. Let it flow. You are the river. The river crashes and it flows. Be water, my friends. Be water.
Don't worry. Be happy. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Coming, going.
But that's a great thing.
Hey, even if you're,
let's hope so.
If you're fucked if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And you're fucked if you're not. Coming, going, up, down, left, right.
I think I've been coming and going on this thing, man.
Well, I hope you're going coming. No.
I gotta leave, man.
It's treason. Leave me alone.
Make like a tree. Get out of here.
Tree sun. Alright. We might.
Yeah.
I think we've hit the end of the rope.
Gallows humor at this point, really.
We're scraping the bottom. But that's
a box beer.
That's me. I'm at the bottom of the rabbit hole with a mattock trying to get through.
Right, yeah.
There's got to be more down here.
No, there is.
There's gold in them bare hills.
All right, we found it. We found it.
That's gold.
Yeah. Woo. Yo. Cheers, brother.
All right.
Yeah. Good podcast. Good night.
Yes.
Hang this thing up, man.
Deep. That's all, folks.